Don't come to me with that BS. Talking about let's chill. No, let's trust God and chill.
We talked about the progression. So I think I got it. The weird things I've kind of seen is one I've already kind of said it, not conversing, like not going back and forth, like, and then the ghosting. I mean, I've ghosted a few people in my life, but I feel like I had good reasons.
Good reason.
Because I always get demonized by her about the different dating choices that I make and why I decide I don't want to be with this chick or I don't want to be talking with this girl.
Superficial stuff.
It's not superficial stuff, mostly. But the thing that just bothers me so much is just the main thing of females just not carrying on conversations like on these dating apps. Like I don't understand, and I think it goes into that princess mentality that I cannot stand. To me, it sounds like you're doing all the work. I'm not doing anything.
But I think you have two groups of women, right? I think you do have the princess mentality females, and then I think you also have. No, this doesn't excuse anything, but I think you have those females who have put their all time and time again, and it's like, well, let me sit back and kind of let like him take the lead or like take control. Now that doesn't, as far as the conversation piece, that doesn't excuse that, because I just think that's stupid. Like you're basically having a conversation with yourself, which is dumb.
I'm not rushing anything. I'm very much so in the belief that it'll happen when it happens. I think it's just that we're seeing a lot of getting married, 25-ish and up, sometimes 23-ish and up. People are starting
18.
Getting married. When I tell you buku people was getting married and having babies when I graduated high school.
Crazy.
Buku.
It's like I couldn't fathom having a kid right now.
Absolutely.
Like actively having a kid to look after, and like I can't even look after myself.
Eat every day?
Cause like if I don't want to eat, that's cool. But it's like
anywhere.
I gotta make sure that they eat. Like every day.
Every day.
Multiple. But on the other hand, what did I say this morning? Thinking about being 40 and having a 10-year-old, I don't know, that don't sound good either. And that's not old.
But it's not old.
But
10 is like you starting to go into your independence.
But that's also where they start to get more active in like school life. Yeah. So like preteen, like they want to do sports or they want to do clubs or they want to hang out with their friends. So you're still running ragged with them. Yeah. So I want to be like 15, like you can drive. 16, you can drive. Yeah. And just tell me where you are. And I can just be at home.
Drop the location.
Relaxing with my husband. Okay? Yeah.
I don't know about you. It's looking real 40-ish with a 2-year-old. That's what it's looking like for me. Because when I say there's no prospect.
So who do you think is going to get married first? I hear you.
I can see you getting married first.
I don't see it.
I honestly, it's a toss-up.
I say you because I feel like you're the man, like the man goes after the one. Like you have to make the move. I think that's where you're lacking. I think you could be making a lot of moves right now.
Tell me about myself. I don't believe that women don't choose. I believe that women do the choosing.
No. I say you start the choosing process. Oh, okay. Like you will probably initiate that conversation or initiate like showing interest. I guess that's what I should.
But I am not that. And if I can be vulnerable for 2 seconds, I ain't gonna get too deep, but it is my own insecurities. I don't mind being honest about that. It is my own insecurities that cause me to not be the hey mom, what's up? Like I'm not that. I gotta know that, oh, she like you, the girl over there, she like you, and she said that if you asked, she would go out with you. I gotta know all that before I go into anything. Right. I admire guys that be sliding into DMs like it ain't nobody's business. I really admire dudes that is sliding into DMs like Rihanna's DMs. Like I made a post about this before. I want the confidence, okay, of the dudes that be sliding into Rihanna's DMs like it is the home winning plate. okay? And be like, hey, yo, mom, what's up? Saw you in that. Word. You gotta send me a little note. Do you like me?
Say yes or no?
What do you think is gonna take for Kayla to not be single?
God himself. Like, because I'm like, God, send me my husband. And I'm like, no, not him. So
I do think Kayla be quick to give up.
It's not giving up. I don't want to collect red flags. I've done that. I've been that person, just collecting. Now I got a whole party. Somebody think I'm in trouble. I'm like, hey, SOS. No, I don't want. I don't want to do that. It's like, we not going on a date and you talking about who paying. No.
That didn't happen to you though.
It did it?
That's trash, gentlemen. Men, come on now. Like y'all, like I understand how we get upset with women, because women, they do a lot of stuff that'd be like, especially women our age, they do a lot of stuff that'd be like stupid. But I also understand the argument of how, women be like, I want to be treated fairly, but then be like, oh, but take out the trash.
But fair is not. You can have your own rules within your relationship. Don't tell me that I can or cannot do something because I'm a woman. Like, I think that's where the lines blur for like being treated equally. It's like when if we don't feel like we're being treated equally, it's like you can't do that because you're a woman. Not like, I don't want you to do that because you're my woman and I want to take care of you. Or it's like, you're my man, you're my husband, so I would like to be treated this way. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like if you want me to cook, don't say you need to cook because you're a woman. Say in my house, like, I feel like maybe you should do majority of the cooking. Maybe he's not that good at cooking. Maybe that's how he grew up. Maybe that's the roles that was in his household or in my household. But don't tell me that I can or can't do something because I'm a woman.
I want to say, hold on, there's a fly.
He got bugs.
Okay, hold on. Y'all want to be the man, but you want to be with the man. But
we don't want to be the man. Historically, black women, they had to be in that role because some trash dudes decided they weren't gonna stick around.
We're not gonna do that.
No, I said some trash. I mean, I grew up in a household, with my dad, so I don't have that view of men. But I do know men who don't stick around for their kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or for their household, for their wife to be that. And so women don't want to be
that, but that's deeply rooted.
It is.
In racism.
It is.
That's a whole different conversation.
It is.
I feel like, okay, so I don't think that women want to be the man, but what I do think is that I think y'all have been disrespected and dismissed for so long that some of y'all, there's different voices speaking up about what you want, and there isn't one collective thing of what you really need to feel valued as a woman. And so like some women, I feel like are speaking more from an emotional place opposed to a logical place when it comes to what women's rights and
such as
like the whole thing of like, I don't need a man. Okay. I think that term or that phrase is depending on how you think about it.
Yeah. Because
technically to live, you don't need a man. However, I need a woman. Okay? And we've talked about this. Right. I feel like I need a woman to kind of create more balance in my life, to elevate me as a man. I can do this on my own. Yeah. I'll be good on my own. But I feel like I need a woman to elevate me and to help me reach my full potential as a person. And so I think women need men, to like
the same thing.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I would agree.
And so just some of the ideals you guys are kind of pushing out there. So it's like, like a lot of y'all are saying you don't want to be barefooted and pregnant. But then y'all are saying like, but the man is supposed to be the one that's taking care of me, taking care of the house, working hard. Some of you guys, not all of you.
But I think the idea of like, I want my woman barefoot and pregnant is like, that's all she's good for. So you have to look at like the context in which these things come out of. And it's like a woman doesn't want to be like, the only thing that they're good for is like having sex and making children and cooking you food. And it's like, no, like I have things that I want to do. And as my partner, as my husband, or as my wife, like you have to be equally respected. And so I think it's about mutual respect. I think it's about just knowing your partner. And it may be some families out there who the woman agrees with that. And it's like, that works for them. But I think the more rights that women get, the more that we speak out about like what we want, I think like times are just changing, and I think sometimes men don't like that, and it's like that's fine.
And they don't.
But
men don't.
I think it's, at the end of the day, it's about mutual respect. So I think like when you talk about women want to be equal, but da 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 da, it's like you gotta hear where that's coming from, because as a woman, you know, we know that men go after like sex, like that's what we think y'all think about all the time. And so if you tell me you want me barefoot you want me barefoot and pregnant, it's like what I hear you saying is the only thing I'm good for is sex and producing a child that you may be in the household for, but you may not interact with, you may not help with homework, you may not give back, you may not actively help me raise this child.
And then on the flip side, what I hear that you're supposed to be my protector, and like, well, not even a protector, but the man's supposed to take care of most of the bills, and he's supposed to be working, like, it kind of seems like you only use me for a check.
Yeah.
And so like, but I get that, and I appreciate what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Because it is something that I don't think we think about as men. Right. We don't think about the historical root of whatever that looks like for you. Right.
Because you haven't had to. Yeah. Like women haven't been calling men out on like, and I don't think even women really know like what the root of that is.
Right.
It's like, I want to take my power back, but I don't know why.
Right.
I just see other women doing it and it seems great. And I think I want to do that, but I'm not even sure why.
Right.
So I think it's all about like a mutual respect and like really being like more emotionally intelligent and not those secondary emotions that we talked about, you know what I mean? And just kind of get to the root of like what it really is.
Yeah.
These are the conversations that we have all the time.
Yes.
And so we just decided like we should film this.
Yes.
Because this is like Antonio riding home from work, or like this is like the conversations that we have all the time.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was of value for you, but I do feel like it's good to hear both sides of it, especially when it's coming from more of a logical place, and just and even maybe it's just using this as a conversation starter within your own spaces, like your friendships and relationships. Mm-hmm. We hoping and praying that by the time this takes off, by the time this YouTube takes off, that we'll be happily in relationships, not married.
So what's the process? Like, okay, date for like what, 2 years?
Yeah, date.
Because I feel like you gotta
date for 2 years. Because like they be quick. Fantasia was dating for what?
2 days?
3 weeks.
But she's still happily married.
She's still happily married.
She's still married.
If she's still married, we don't know
the status.
We have no idea. But hey, if you know, you know. But for me, I'll know after 2 years. But yeah, 2 years dating, and then that's why I am hoping that it happens kind of soon, because
we're about to be 26 and 25. That's crazy.
I don't believe in rushing nothing. Especially after recent events. Okay, I don't believe in rushing anything and rushing my time, and I'm really trying to think more in the present, opposed to just always thinking about the future. But I wanted to have this conversation with y'all, well, in front of y'all, with somebody else that I feel like is emotionally, mentally sound, so that I can gain some clarity on some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think y'all should put in the comments what your worst dating experience has been.
Please.
Share with us so we can kind of look at that and kind of analyze it and probably talk further about it.
Yes, please. If you want to see a part 3 at any point in life, you want to see more people come on, you want Kayla to come back for anything, just drop that in the comments as well. I've enjoyed this.
Me too.
This
ain't me. Tony been asking me to do a video. And I'm like, ooh.
Y'all, I've been trying to get her on since day one.
Truth.
All you've heard her voice in the background of one video. And then you saw her in the last couple videos with the rest of everybody.
Yeah.
But I have been trying to get her on since day one. So I'm happy she's finally came. This will not be the last time, whether she knows it or not. This will not be the last time. As y'all can see, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Definitely a vibe.
It's a whole mood. What the kids say? Oh, mood.
Mood. Oh my God, mood.
Why wouldn't you want to see this again?
Okay.
Tomorrow's not promised. yesterday it already happened. So enjoy today. Seriously, like, we see that you never know what could happen. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself, and know that you are doing the best that you can with the tools that you have.